As we all know, Mercedes Mone likes to put her opponents in the bank statement in the ring, but it's looking like last night she made another type of statement that has nothing to do with a wrestling maneuver. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kevin Zwicker from Fast Count coming at you. And before I get into this video, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the like button and subscribe. So after over a decade, Mercedes Mone made her returns to the Indies last night in HOG. If you're not familiar with HOG, is an indie company out of New York that is really bubbling up right now. And if you don't know, their commentary team consists of two very popular wrestling content creators. One is the Solid Monster, who is my personal favorite, person to listen to in this space, and the other one is the very controversial and brash JD from New York. Now, if you are not familiar with JD's work, he is an individual who's very controversial in the space, very loud and boisterous, and he's known to have had a couple, well, more than a couple, public spats with wrestlers in the past. He's said a lot of really negative things about AEW, mainly the women. He said very derogatory things about Jade Cargill in the past, said not so nice things about Mercedes Mone, and these are just a few examples to bring up. So everybody is talking about this show, and it's not for the match that Mercedes had with Indy Hartwell and what was taking place in the ring. This was a very, solid match from these two ladies. It's not one of these matches that they're going to be talking about a year from now, but it was a very good match between these two individuals. What everybody is talking about is the fact that for this match, there was a change to the commentary team, and there was no JD on the call for this match. Now, everybody is speculating that AEW or Mercedes herself requested that JD is not on the call for her match. Now, this is all speculation. Like I said, there's no facts. Nobody has come out directly and said that the call was for him to get off this match because of personal reasons with Mercedes or AEW. But I don't think it's a coincidence. This is just me speculating, but I don't think it's a coincidence that the anti-AEW and the anti-Mercedes guy wasn't calling Mercedes' match on the Indies, for the first time that she's made an appearance on the Indies for so long, right? And I'm not a guy who likes to trash other people in the space. This is a big plate that I feel like all of us can eat off of and get ours. But for me personally, my approach is to keep it in balance. When I'm critical about what goes on in a show or a segment or a match, it's always about what is going on the screen. I try not to ever disparage anybody's personal life or discuss their personal life unless it is involving an angle. Like, for example, the Matt Hardy, Lita, and Edge thing, where a situation in their personal lives blurred the lines and they had to create an angle on the TV show because it got so big. Now, that's an example that I think that you would have to discuss their personal life, right? But outside of things like that, I feel like that stuff is out of bounds. Now, if Mercedes made the boss call to say, hey, I don't want this guy on the show calling my match, then good for her. When you are somebody who's in demand in the situation, you're the person who's able to call the shots. If I'm going to do this, I don't want this, this, or this. I want this, this, or this. And if they agree to your terms, then good for you. She was the person who had the leverage in this situation. Having Mercedes wrestle in your promotion, if you're an indie company, I think it's a big boom. I think it's one of those things that's going to get people talking. Everybody is talking about it online. Even people who are outside of the New York HOG bubble, I feel like this is a match that people have been discussing. I'm discussing it right now, aren't I? And good for her, man. And I don't think it's cool, to really, bash people and say the things that he has said about those ladies. It's not cool, and it's just really insensitive and unnecessary. We don't need to do that as content creators. There's enough stuff on the show that sucks that we can sit there and talk about, whether it's AEW, WWE, or anything in between. All these companies have shitty segments that they put on at least once a week that we're able to shit on. So I don't know why that, we have to do that. But she picked up the win. She was able to be celebrated on that show. We've seen a lot of, buzz coming out of it, mainly positive outside of this. And it feels as if, the online community is celebrating because not a lot of people like JD. He has his followers, same as Cornette. You know, there's these people who are, you know, who thrive off of this negativity that individuals like that have. But for me, man, we're keeping it positive. If she called him and got him off of the show, then good for her. She's the CEO, Mercedes Four Belts, and she gets love on this channel no matter what. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think it's a boss move that she was able to get him off the show? Do you think that they just did it as a precautionary move? Do you think anybody made a call to get him off the show? What do you think about the situation? Do you listen to JD or do you know who JD is? Let me know in the comment section. And like I said earlier, guys, remember to like the video and subscribe. Like the video and subscribe. Like the video and subscribe. I'm Kevin Zwicker. I'm out.